Hello and welcome to the lesson 2 of the Job Magnet Formula, Skill Inventory Workshop. Up until now, we had been discussing much of theory, but this lesson onwards, we start taking action towards the journey of making you job ready. So let's get started. In this workshop, we are going to go through these steps. Firstly, external research, in which we will first learn how to look after job roles, find out what are the skills required for that. After that, we will look within, self-discovery, and we will find out what are the skills that we already have. After that, we will go into skill organization. After we have found out what are the skills that we have, we will arrange them into technical skills and soft skills. After that, role matching. We will match our skills to the specific job roles, because in the first aspect, in the first pointer, as I mentioned, external research, we are going to find out what are the skills required by any particular jobs. So we will then match our found out skills with those jobs, with the required skills for those. And after that, we will go into presentation, how to present our skills authentically. So let's get started. Firstly, why this matters? Reality check. Recruiters don't hire degrees, they hire proof of skills. Now, we have already discussed this a lot of times that recruiters are not crazy about your mark sheets. It is not necessary for you to have high performing mark sheet to get a job. They are neither interested in that. They are interested more in your skills, your abilities. So what can you do? Your resume should reflect what you can do, not just what you studied. Now, in your resume, you have to mention not the subjects, but the skills you have. And that's what we are going to find out in this lesson. Skill-based hiring. Companies want evidence of capabilities, not just credentials. As I already mentioned in the previous lesson, that your projects determine whether you have a skill or not. You can easily go and lie. But what is the proof of you having a skill? Your experience, your skills, your projects. These are the proof. And there's a thing called proof of concept. Whether you are an entrepreneur, a businessman, or in a job, everywhere a proof of concept is required. So even a recruiter will want that proof of concept. And how to present yourself with that POC, we are going to learn in this lesson. So first, before you look inward, look outward. What do you need to do for that? What does it even mean? Well, first, you need to explore job roles. You need to explore what are the skills required in the industry, because you can say that I'm really good at flying kite, but is that a required skill in the market? Are people paying for that? If not, then you need to find out what are the skills that are getting paid for in the industry, and you need to either develop them, or if you have them, then you need to learn how to present them. And then self-reflection. So yes, that's what I mentioned, that after you find out what are the required skills for a job, you reflect within yourself whether you have those. If not, then you need to develop them. So where do we start? So either you have a dream job already. If you want to be a graphic designer, or if you want to be a programmer, you want to be a developer, you want to be a psychologist, you want to be a manager in a company. If you already have an idea where do you want to go, then it's well and good. If you have no idea what job do you want to do, then here's a place to start. Go through the placement history of your college and see what are the job positions offered in your college placement. Once you find that out, once you jot down what are all the job roles that are being offered, that are usually offered in your placements, you can also go talk to your placement officer and ask them that when the companies arrive, what are the common job roles that they will be offering. You jot them down and then start doing research on them. So you have to go through both of these point of view. If you have a dream job, then well and good. If not, then just do some research. Select some job roles that seem suitable to you, that you want to go into. What after that? Then we take a little help of ChatGPT. This is pretty easy for, I guess everybody would be comfortable in this, but don't worry, I will do it myself and show you. So here's the prompt. Give me the top 5 job roles suitable for someone from your stream or background, and then background, the word background. For each, list top 10 skills required and the key responsibilities. Your example background can be anything. You can be a person pursuing BTech through CS or IT. You can be someone doing MBA from marketing. You can be someone doing BA from psychology. You can even be a medical student. You can even be a fashion designing student. Whatever is your stream, you need to do research on that. So let's take an example and do it here. I'll just copy the prompt from here and I will go here, paste it. Okay. So I'll just type in here MBA in digital marketing, say digital marketing background. Let's just start reading right here. So here are the top 5. I'm reading the left one, by the way, just for not having the confusion. Here are the top 5 job roles suitable for someone with an MBA in digital marketing, along with their top 10 skills and responsibilities. So now, these are the titles for the job that are available for people who have done MBA in marketing. So first example, MBA in digital marketing, sorry. So first is digital marketing manager. Now, what are the skills required for them? SEO and SEM, Google Analytics and data interpretation, social media marketing, paid ads, email marketing automation, campaign planning, and so on. What are the key responsibilities for those job roles? Develop and execute 360-degree marketing campaigns. So when you will be hired, you will have these responsibilities on you. You will have to develop marketing strategies. You will have to manage SEO and SEM, pay-per-click strategies, analyze campaign performance using tools like Google Analytics, coordinate with content design team and tech teams, and so on. If you are another job role is performance marketing specialist. So if you are in that job role, the top 10 required skills would be paid media strategy, conversion rate optimization, A/B testing and funnel optimization, and so on and so forth. The key responsibilities are visible here. So you get the point. You have to do this yourself. I don't have enough time to keep doing this for all that. I'll just give you another example. I'll prefer this response. Okay. If I am, let's say, MBBS, I am someone who is pursuing MBBS. So what are the job opportunities for me? Medical advisor or medical affairs specialist, pharmaceutical healthcare company. Now, apart from being a doctor, these are the doctor with a clinic and so on and so. These are the options available to you. First is medical advisor, health affairs specialist. Top 10 skills required are clinical knowledge across therapeutic areas, scientific literature review and interpretation, clinical trial and understanding, strategic thinking, and so on. Key responsibilities include provide scientific and clinical support to marketing and sales teams, review promotional materials for medical accuracy, engage with doctors and key opinion leaders. Another job option is clinical research associate. Skills required are good clinical practice, protocol adherence, and monitoring, so on. Key responsibilities include oversee clinical trials at investigator sites, ensure trials comply with regulatory and ethical standards. So it is clearly visible how you can do your own research. I'm not here to tell everything about every possible job role. I'm just here to show you the way how you can do it for any possible job role. So let's move forward. Now, once you have got the idea of all the possible job roles out there, and then what are the skills required for them, you need to look inwards and find out what are the skills that you already have from them. You also need to figure out where did you implement those skills. Did you do any project assignments in your college? Did you get an internship and implement those skills there? Did you do any group projects? Or do you have any personal hobbies where you implement those skills in real life? You need to reflect on all these scenarios and find out what are the skills that you excel at, what are you are moderate at, and what you are really weak at, and what you do not have at all. Now, the skills that you excel at and you are moderate at, these are the skills that are your arrows in your, I don't know what's the English word for punir, I forgot. Anyway, those are your arrows. So after this reflection, after you have given it a thought, what are your skills, you start segregating them. And here's a framework to do so. There are 3 columns of self-discovery. First is technical skills. So what you can also do is when you are giving the prompt to ChatGPT, you can specify that what are the technical skills and what are the soft skills required for those particular job roles. Make sense? So yes, coming back to this slide. So what are technical skills? These are the tools, these are the platforms, languages, or this is basically the expertise or the knowledge that you require to do that job. For example, if you are a doctor, you need to study all the medical literature to understand about the diseases, about the human body, anatomy, and everything. If you are a developer, you need to know programming languages, you need to know data structures, you need to know how to develop apps, and so on. If you are a marketing specialist, you need to know softwares like Canva, Excel, Tableau, and Google Analytics, all these. So these are the technical know-hows required for any job. So in summary, what you can say is the skills required for you to get the task done are the technical skills. Now, what are the soft skills? These are your life skills, you can say, including communication, teamwork, leadership. So how I like to differentiate between technical skills and soft skills is, as I mentioned, technical skills help you, enable you to get the job done, whereas soft skills make you able to work as a part of a team in a company or in a team environment. Because even if you are this good at your technical skills, you are this good at programming or using Google Analytics or creative writing for marketing campaigns, but you are just this good or this bad at communication, at teamwork or leadership, it's not gonna match, it's not gonna align, and you are not still gonna get the job, even if you are this good at technical skills. Both of your skills need to be decent enough for you to be employable. And then, so yeah, you need to find out the technical skills of yours, the soft skills, and what does it mean by applied context? You need to think where you have applied these skills, because earlier I talked about proof of concept, POC. Even if I say that I am really good at leadership and I say that I'm really good at designing fashion, what is the proof of that? Where have I applied those skills? So if I say that no, I am really good at leading a team because I have led a team of fashion designers at a project that we were doing in my college, where I led the team and we designed 15 different designs for, I don't know, women's dresses. I don't have any specific examples for this, but you get the idea. So your skills and the use case of those skills, where you have applied those skills, these both things are equally important. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this is a framework. You can use this particular fill in the blank framework to identify your own skills and jot them down in the format that I gave you. So identify the skill. I used this skill. Now, whatever the skill you used, while doing dash in context dash. As I just gave you the example that I led a team of 15 designers while we were working on a college project, and we did this and this. So this gives you your skill with the proof of concept, and this is what you have to present in front of the employers. So let's take some few examples for this. If we talk about technical skills for someone pursuing BTech in CS, you can say, I used Python while developing a movie booking app in my major project. Makes sense? It's a good example. So it proves that you know how to use Python. Now, it's not just that you have to use only one skill here. You can say I used Python and then mention frameworks of the Python, mention frameworks of whatever database you use, database management system you used, and what you did. You can also mention you have uploaded your project on GitHub and it's available publicly. Similarly, if you are someone pursuing MBA in marketing, you can say I did an internship in a company where I used Excel, Canva to design posters and then posted them on social media, maybe Instagram, YouTube, whatever the platform were, and tracked the data and analyzed the data through Excel and whatever tools you may have used. So similarly, psychology. If you are a psychology student, you can say, I have used SPSS. That's a scale, I guess. I'm not sure what's the full form for that. But I used the SPSS scale while doing my major dissertation, and I used that report on to find out results while interviewing the candidates or while collecting the data. Other skills are also given here. So you get the point. You have to find out what skills you have, not just with the titles, but with the use case scenarios. What skills you have used in which case. This is what makes you presentable in front of a recruiter. Then example of soft skills. If you're a fashion designing, so you may say that I am a really creative person. I am a really patient individual because I had this project of creating 15 or 20 new designs within a given period, and I patiently worked on it. I used my creative thinking and came up with 23 designs within this given period of time. So it shows you are good at creativity, you are a patient person, and you are good at time management. Make sense? If you are in nursing, so you can say that when I was pursuing my degree or practicing nursing, there were these patients whose family were really worried while they were in the operation theater or even in the normal private ward, and I tried to console their relatives and help them calm down. I told them that everything will be fine. You can also mention how you have showed alertness during crisis. Then when there was a lot of patients coming in, you handled them patiently, you were alert, you did not make any mistakes, and you handled everything patiently and effectively. So this is how you explain your soft skills. These are the example of soft skills: problem solving, debugging, collaboration, persuasion, communication. It is pretty much visible on the screen. If I am not mentioning it, you can just pause the video and look through them. Same for the previous slide. You can just go back in the video and read through all the technical skills possible. And that's not the point, man. You can research them by yourself. I am just giving you some examples, you get the point. Now, once you have determined all the skills, you have reflected within yourself what are the skills that you have, you need to start jotting them down. And you can use this 3-column worksheet. I will also attach I'll just create a worksheet for you and attach that within the lessons, But right now, pay attention here. Divide your paper into 3 columns: technical skills, soft skills, and the context where you applied it. Now, regardless of how good or bad you are at it, just start jotting the skills that you have ever used in your life, that you have ever gained in your life, and then mention the use cases where you have mentioned. For example, a technical skill, Canva, is there, and soft skills is creativity. So where did you use both of the skills? Both of these skills. You designed poster for college events. You can say you used MS Excel and problem solving to create family budget spreadsheet. It is not necessary for you to have shown these skills, implemented these skills in a professional or a studying setup only. Even if you have taught your siblings, then it is an example of you using communication skills, teaching skills, explanation skills, and that's a decent enough example. So let's move forward. Now, as I mentioned earlier, do not care about how much you are good at something. Just jot all the skills that come to your mind, that you have within you. Right now, when you are finding out, when you are reflecting within yourself, quantity matters more over the quality. So right now, don't judge yourself whether you are good or not. Just jot down any skill that you have. This will help you, get a good idea about yourself, because that's what imperative for you to have before walking an interview. That's what the interviewer will ask you, the things about yourself. That's what he will judge you upon. How well do you know yourself? So just remember, just try to unlock your memories, try to remember all the skills and all the use case scenarios that you have used those skills at, and jot them down on the paper. Also a suggestion, just use physical paper. The digital worksheet will also work, but trust me on this. I don't know why. Actually, I do know why, but I just don't have the time to explain it right now. But writing with a pen and paper works much better than any digital format, digital means. So yes, as I mentioned, the use cases, think about all the use cases, all the scenarios where you have implemented those skills. It is not necessary for you to have done them in a professional setup, in a professional environment only. You can mention all the family functions as well. You can mention that you planned a family wedding in your home, and that will be a good example of management skills. You can say, I taught my siblings this subject, so that will be an example of communication skills. You can mention you participated in whatever function you did, so that shows confidence, that shows thus the ability to implement that skill, whatever you are talking about. You can also mention, and most students do this, they only do this mentioning about college events, college fests, it is not because of what fun you had there, but what skills you learned and implemented there. What skills did you got into experience of you? What skills you experienced? Am I making sense? I know I'm like kind of fumbling a little bit, but okay, I told you this is my first time recording a course, so it's all well. Now, after you have done all that, you need to start connecting the skills to the job roles. In the beginning, we researched many job roles. Either it was your dream job, or if you didn't have one, then whatever the job roles you shortlisted and the skills required for them, you start matching the skills you have with those job roles. This is a framework again you can use. Select a target role, pick any job role you found earlier, then skill assessment. Do I have at least 50% of the skills required for that? So now when you have jotted down all the skills, you start arranging them in certain way. And when you look at a job role, you see these are the skills required for that job, and these are the skills that I already have. Do I at least have 50% of the skills in this column that I have that are required for this job? If yes, then it's wonderful. You can go ahead and apply for that job. And evidence collection, as I already have mentioned multiple times, it is necessary for you to give a proof of concept. So also jot down where you have implemented those skills. If you are a programmer, then you need to be able to show the project that you have developed. Just saying it out loud won't work. If you are into these kind of job roles, then you actually have to have a proof of concept. Just saying it won't work. Now, don't stop at one. Even if you have done this entire process for one job role, it doesn't mean that you are done. The more times you iterate this cycle, the more you will find out about yourself and about the industry as well. You will get to know what are the jobs available in the market, because nobody in college tells us this. We are just forced to write assignments and study the subjects, but nobody tells us what exactly are the job roles available out there, what can we do, what are the job roles that align with our persona. Maybe you are a creative individual and you don't like programming, you don't like doing mundane tasks, you like to do something creative. So you can go into creative writing, you can go into graphic designing, but you have to find all that by yourself. And in today's age of artificial intelligence, getting this knowledge is a piece of cake. You can do it just like that. Just go write the prompt that I told you and you will have sufficient knowledge for that. So don't be lazy, find out and do it for yourself, because I don't want you to get stuck in a job that you don't love. And to be honest, up until now, in the previous generations, that's what people had been doing. That's why our parents also keep telling us that doing a job isn't fun. But that isn't the case anymore. Now we live in a world where you can earn money while doing what you love. So definitely, like I am telling you, you won't be able to survive a job happily, at least, where you have no interest in doing that job. So do it for yourself. Find out what jobs are available there, find out what skills you have and what aligns with you. Do what floats your boat. So let's move ahead. Now, here's a common objection. I don't have experience, I have no idea what to do. So as I already have mentioned, even if you have led a basketball team, that is a leadership skill. If you have led a team in an internship or while doing a college project, that is an example of leadership. If you have taught others, then that is an example of really good communication skills. Even if you have done a group study just a night before an exam, because that's what we do, right? We don't study all year, we just study one night before and pass the exams. So you don't have to mention that in front of the interview, right? Unless you have become that comfortable in that interaction. But yeah, I have taught others, that is my communication skill. So again, you have to mention the skill first and then you have to mention the scenario. Because if you just go and say, I have taught my siblings or my classmates, so the interviewer won't do the work of, extracting the hidden information behind it. You have to make the information as simple and as digestible as possible. That's what I'm trying to do right now. I could have made this presentation much more smaller, but people don't work that way. People don't think a lot. So you need to make them think by giving the exact words or exact structure to think about. Am I making sense? Side hustles. If you have done any side hustles, if you have done any side projects, that's wonderful. That will add wonderfully to your resume and to your experience. You can also mention volunteering work if you have done any. So it's not possible that you don't have any experience. You have lived your life so far, so you have done at least something or other that aligns with that job role. You just need to look within yourself and find that out. When to use ChatGPT? So again, I could have easily told you to just do entire process, do this entire process with the help of ChatGPT, but I don't want you to do that. ChatGPT is only for support, because you need to find job, not ChatGPT. You need to look within yourself and only use ChatGPT as a support. So what can you use that for? Skills brainstorming, brainstorm more skills from a job role. So you can ask it for more skills required for a particular job. Skills clarification. If you don't understand what a skill means, you can ask it to explain that to you. Phrasing refinement, reword refine your phrasing. Now that you can use it for, we will actually be doing that in our next lessons. Improving your written language. But I don't want you to use ChatGPT for all this inner self-reflection work. That you need to do by yourself. Your real work reflection is your responsibility, right? Optional ChatGPT prompt to refine your table. Now, after you have created that table of yours, you can use this prompt to refine those skills. Here's my list of skills and where I have applied them. Help me group them better and reword them to sound professional, but keep it honest. Then paste your table. On left side is your raw list and right side is the review of those lists, the context where you're used, and any other else point you want to mention. Then you can mention your proficiency at it, whether you are good, moderate, or bad at that skill, or any detail you want to add. Just create a table out of it in Excel sheet, then go paste it in ChatGPT prompt text box, and then you can give it this prompt to refine it for you. You can use it. You can also just put in the skills. You can say that, okay, I am applying for this particular job role. Out of all these skills, what are the skills that align with this particular job role? So get creative with using AI, but don't use it as an alternative for your work. Please believe me on this. If you will just keep relying on ChatGPT, you're gonna get rejected. People know that. I have been rejected from a really big company, so I know that. So please don't rely much on ChatGPT. Do the work on your side that is required from you and help AI only for the support. So congratulations. Once you have done all the process that I have mentioned in this video, you have already built a solid foundation of your own understanding and your skills. Also, you have done more than 50% of the work required to build your resume. And also for interview preparation. How? We will find that out in the next lessons. But from now on, what is left? In the next lessons, we are going to learn how to build a resume. Okay. In the next video, I am going to show you my entire professional journey in the form of resumes. I'll show you my very first resume and my current, very last resume. And you will see the transformation, my professional transformation throughout those. It's not necessary for you to attend that lesson. You can just skip it if you want. But I want to show you how bad at building resume I was initially and how I improved gradually, and how you don't need to make those same mistakes, because I am here to teach you. And yes, I am here with you to take you through the entire process. And in coming lessons, we will learn how to use LinkedIn, because I got my first internship, that too after having dropped out of a college, through LinkedIn. And I also got employed in that company later on. I will tell you in that next lesson, in which I will show you my resumes. And finally, we will prepare for the interviews. So that's what coming next. And that's it for this video. I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.